On March 18, 1981, the life of Morris E. Goodman changed when he became the victim of a plane crash. He was rescued and taken to a hospital, but was completely paralyzed. His spinal cord was crushed and his reflexes were disabled. His diaphragm was destroyed. He could not breathe on his own. All he could do was blink his eyes that were fixed at the ventilator systems that would support him for the rest of his life. He pleaded his family to end his life. He knew he would never be able to put things back together again. He suffered throughout and underwent immense agony and pain.
Morris preferred death over a life, which was dependent on machines and on his family. For his family too, it was a difficult decision, but they could not bear to see him struggling in such a state. They decided to let go.
Numerous people like Morris end up in hospitals each day, and thus we believe that euthanasia is justified.
Euthanasia as a practice dates back to ancient times. Euthanasia, in the sense of the deliberate hastening of a person's death, was supported by Socrates, Plato, and Seneca the Elder in the ancient world. Although Hippocrates appears to have spoken against a practice, writing, "I will not prescribe a deadly drug to please someone, nor give any advice that may cause his death." But in the last 100 years, spectacular advances in medical science have brought an otherwise esoteric question straight into our backyards. People are living longer, at least in advanced countries. This opens the door to a host of metabolic diseases. But medical science ensures that they can live longer, even if it is in conditions of great debility and pain. But should they live and suffer, or should they be allowed or even helped to die and end the suffering? It has become a profoundly perplexing question for doctors and indeed all of society.
This knotty legal moral conundrum has received stormy attention in the media and legislatures. Let us have a look at the result. This makes it furthermore important that the issue is debated upon as it deals with the life and death of individuals, the emotions of their loved ones, and the morals and ethics of our society on a whole. Thus, we discuss the various aspects akin to euthanasia that have plagued all discussions which have taken place over the years. In most countries around the world, there is a dearth of healthcare facilities. Many poor people in these nations find it difficult to obtain medical help. A lot of resources are spent by the government for the maintenance of public hospitals and in form of monetary aids. But still, the efforts prove insufficient. Patients in a permanent vegetative state block a lot of such medical resources, and yet they are unable to benefit from the treatment. In case the patient or his family decides to opt for euthanasia, such resources can be easily used to treat other people who need immediate medical attention. This would ensure that maximum benefit is obtained from the resources which have been employed in the sector. Patients who have been in a vegetative state for more than a few months become a victim of atrophied muscles and stiff joints, which may result in permanent immobilization. The person is unable to perform daily tasks on his own. His physical condition deteriorates to such an extent that his body becomes host to a number of diseases. His vital processes like digestion and excretion are also affected due to the intake of antibiotics. Such a life often becomes a cause of depression for the person and his family. He considers himself to be a burden and often loses his social position, which leads to further misery. The aftermath of the treatment or surgery makes the patient suffer more than the disease itself. He is affected mentally, emotionally, financially, and socially. Thus, in certain cases, opting for euthanasia is considered to be better than treatment itself.